You thought there was no football on this summer? Think again. In fact, hang your head in shame, because the biggest tournament in the world is taking place in Australia and New Zealand from July 20th right through to August 20th. That's right, it's the World Cup, the Women's World Cup, where for the first time in women's football history, a total of 32 nations will fight it out for the biggest prize of them all. As always, we are set for a magical spectacle of colour, lights, passion and delirium on a roller coaster ride that is this World Cup. There will be highs, lows, tears of sorrow and tears of joy, and in the end there will be just one team to lift the most coveted trophy in the world. Get the calendar out and get ready to complete the World Cup wall chart as some of the finest players in the world take to the field. From US legends like Alex Morgan and Megan Rapinoe to top talent like Australian forward Sam Kerr and Spanish sensation Aleixa Putellas. Who will come out on top in the 2023 Women's World Cup? Let us know your prediction in the comments below. Did you know that the first Women's World Cup only took place in 1991? Unfortunately, the women's game was left behind as money was ploughed into men's football for decades. But now the tables are turning, and slowly but surely the women's game is getting the recognition, support and viewership that it deserves. This summer's tournament will prove to be a global spectacle in a football and commercial sense. But back in 1991, just 15 teams played at the competition. China were the hosts and the USA were the inaugural Women's World Cup champions, defeating Norway 2-1 in the final. Since 91, the tournament has gone from strength to strength, and the last tournament in France in 2019 was a massive success. The tournament by then had grown to 24 teams, and games were broadcast globally to a combined audience of 1.12 billion people. Yet again, the USA took the title, the most successful side in Women's World Cup history. Only Brazil's men's team have won more World Cups, and if the USA women's side can do it again this year, they'll match the world record held by the boys from Brazil. Impressively, the USA have won 50% of all Women's World Cups in history, with 4 out of 8 possible titles. In 1995, Norway went one better than they did in 91 to take the trophy, before the US took back their title on home soil in 1999. Then came a golden era for Germany, as they beat Sweden in the 2003 final and then Brazil in the 2007 final to win historic back-to-back World Cups. In 2011, the tournament was hosted by Germany, but it was Japan who would take gold, with a historic victory of their own, overcoming the USA with a penalty shootout victory in the final. Since then, the USWNT, as they are known at home in the States, won back-to-back titles themselves to reassert their dominance over the women's game. But this year, 31 teams will travel down under looking to steal their crown. Who will it be? A first title for Brazil? Or England perhaps? Maybe hosts Australia or the tournament dark horses? Let us know your thoughts below. There are some tasty matchups in the group stages of what will be the first ever Women's World Cup held in the Southern Hemisphere, and that shows in incredible ticket sales for the tournament. On June the 9th, it was said that over 1 million tickets had been sold for the tournament. Since then, that number may well have surpassed the record set in 2015 when 1.35 million tickets were sold for the tournament in Canada. Both host nations open up the tournament on July 20th. New Zealand face off against Norway, and then later that evening the Matildas take on World Cup newcomers Ireland in a game that was moved to a bigger stadium. Such was the demand for tickets. 20,000 tickets were sold for that game in under 45 minutes. It's a tough draw for Ireland and Nigeria as they face host Australia and also Canada. Both teams sit in the top 10 places in the FIFA World Rankings. The USA and the Netherlands will face off in the group stage in a repeat of the 2019 final, and European champions England have a favourable draw up against Haiti, China and Denmark. The group of death sees France and Brazil paired together alongside a strong Jamaica side and Panama. France and Brazil sit 5th and 8th respectively in the rankings. In the final round of group matches, make sure to look out for Jamaica versus Brazil, Argentina versus Sweden and Canada versus Australia in some do or die ties to reach the knockout phases. From then on, it's anybody's game. Aleixa Putellas is perhaps the star player in the world at the moment. She won the Ballon d'Or in 2021 and 2022. The Barcelona midfielder dominates games and contributes a mountain of goals and assists from the centre of the park. Spain perhaps aren't amongst the strong favourites for the title, but with Putellas on the pitch, they can beat anyone. The USA, of course, have winning in their veins, looking for an emphatic third title in a row, 5 out of a possible 9 in Women's World Cup history, would be something ridiculous. You'd be a very, very brave person to write them off. Their neighbours Canada won gold at the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo though, and they'll be looking to give the States a good run for their money. England are highly tipped for a first title after their tremendous display in the last European Championships. As hosts, they won the tournament and galvanised a nation along the way, packing stadiums up and down the country as star player Beth Mead led them to glory, with the help of other phenomenal players like Barcelona pair Lucy Bronze and Keira Walsh. Australia will be pinning their hopes on Chelsea star Sam Kerr, Germany on Wolfsburg superstars Alexandra Popp and Lena Oberdorf, and 2 Lyon players who have been some of the best in the world during the entire last decade will be hoping to fire their nations to glory. 2018 Ballon d'Or winner Ada Hegerberg of Norway and French defender Wendy Renard. Last but certainly not least, we cannot forget the samba skills and legendary longevity of Brazilian sensation Marta. The 37-year-old has won 6 World Player of the Year awards, as well as runners-up medals at the World Cup in 2007 and the Olympics in 04 and 08. Perhaps if anybody deserves this title, it's her, in what will surely be her last finals appearance. There truly is an array of stars at the Women's World Cup this year. They are ready to light up the pitch, to win for their country, and to put the women's game at the forefront of world football, to inspire the next generation of young girls to play the game that they love. Thankfully, we've reached a point where the women's game is beginning to get the plaudits it deserves, and with that, the game will grow, and so too will the opportunity for many young girls to become properly paid professional footballers in the future. Australia and New Zealand are ready for the Women's World Cup. Are you? It's their time. It's the girls' time. Who is taking home the trophy? Let us know in the comments below.